Hey guys, Dr. Pease here. Today we're going to be talking about movement cycling and how it will give you greater longevity to keep you doing the things you love for longer. Movement cycling is varying the ways that you exercise on a rotating schedule so you can avoid premature wear of your joints. Movement cycling is almost identical to cross-training, except for the emphasis is going to be put on longevity of the body and preservation of your joints. This happens through proper organization and increased movement in all planes of motion. Cross-training's emphasis is on performance, so to increase a specific pillar of fitness like your strength or your endurance. As a younger athlete, I prioritized performance above all other things. I wanted to run faster, jump higher. But now, as I'm maturing, I'm 38 years old, I still value performance. I just know that some of my best performance may be starting to wind down over the next 10 years. With that in mind, I like to have a plan. And my plan is, I'm gonna use movement cycling. I'm just gonna tone it down a little bit and just keep in the back of my mind that the real goal here, although performance is great and performance is fun, the real goal is longevity. This is what I tell my patients to do. This is what I have them implement into their training program so that we can all have the best of everything and keep moving as long as we can throughout our lives. Okay, so I've been doing CrossFit, which is great. You get a lot of variability in how I move. I'm challenged in lots of different ways. I've really enjoyed it. I've been doing that for probably the past 10 years. I went and took a kickboxing class. I took kickboxing class and the instructor asked me to kick higher on the bag. The problem is I physically couldn't kick higher. I could feel the tightness, in my groin, and I just wasn't able to do it. And so he looked at me and he says, you can't get your leg higher than that? I said, no, I physically can't do that. And he started laughing. And he said to me, dude, you're getting old. Call me old again.
I dare you. I double dare you, mother.
Oh, you can't say that to me. I do not want to hear that. I don't think anyone would want to hear that, but it lit a fire in me. And I've been taking that class for a couple months now, and I can kick easily a foot higher than I was able to before. So as much as something challenges you, something as great as CrossFit that has you move in so many different ways, you're still limited to the parameters of that sport. Many of you are going to read this and you're going to think to yourself, well, I do X activity or I do this other activity, so I'm well-rounded. Are you? Really be honest with yourself, and before you answer, take a look at this. If you can do this, I'll shut my mouth. This is Peter. Watch him move. You're welcome. What a stud, right? He is strong and flexible in about every plane of motion. Want a good laugh? Try this. It's really hard. And be honest with yourself. Are you training in every plane of motion? If you're not, then you're creating gaps in your mobility and strength, which is the reason even the fittest people get injuries when they try something they haven't done for a while. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You play a pickup game of basketball or perhaps soccer with your buddies, and you pull your groin because you don't move laterally anymore. You just move forward. These types of problems are avoided by implementing movement cycling and taking a second to evaluate the ways that you're moving. You need to move in every plane of motion. Almost all movement practices are going to incorporate some combination of these 4 pillars of physical activity. By choosing movement practices specifically targeting each pillar, you will be able to more intelligently identify where you fall short and where you can improve your training for greater longevity and a better balanced fitness. If the movement practices you've chosen for each pillar are mostly high-impact activities, then that's not a good plan for longevity. Instead, be sure to add in lower-impact activities to give your joints an opportunity to repair the damaged tissue. Be sure to schedule your rest days in between your highest impact training routines. This will aid in your recovery and also reduce the likelihood of overuse injuries. Give yourself a couple months and then change the movement practices. Make sure you're still balanced, but have fun. The goal is to move in as many ways as possible. Keep changing what you're asking your body to do, and if you do that, you will stay young and you will have longevity. Okay, so let's recap what we've learned. We're going to pick specific movements for each one of the pillars of fitness. We're going to make sure there's enough diversity of movement. Then we're going to organize that into our schedule, either weekly or daily. And then we're going to make sure we have adequate rest days. Every few months, feel free to add or change some new movement practices. Keep it fun. That's your homework assignment for this week. You must find a new way to move, go take a class, go have fun, bring a friend with you, make it enjoyable. Adding new movement is about adding diversity to your movement portfolio. Have fun, enjoy it. Don't give up the things you love. By doing this, you'll be able to do the things you love even longer. If you ever have any questions or concerns, or maybe you've never been to a chiropractor before, I would love to be your chiropractor. Please give me a call, make an appointment. I look forward to meeting you. Have a great day.